Hi everyone, I'm Bevan Fletcher, Senior Editor of StreamTV Insider, and I'm here at the StreamTV Show with Domenic DiMeglio, CMO and Chief Data Officer of Paramount Streaming. Hi Dom.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I'm excited to talk. Now, churn is an industry-wide issue for streaming, and I think Hub came out with a recent study that said consumers increasingly have a difficult time differentiating between different major SVODs. So what are kind of some of the main marketing techniques or messaging you're using to show the value prop and communicate what makes Paramount Plus unique to consumers?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're hitting on one of the things that we focus on the most, and I would say break it down into two things. One, of course, is when users are evaluating their subscriptions, both the new ones they want to sign up for and the ones they have, value is the most important thing, right? In terms of course, you have to have shows and content they want, but from there they want to know that they're getting the value for their subscription fee. And so one of the things that we have been very conscious about in all of our marketing is always balancing the amount of single title marketing efforts that we're doing, and always having a layer of sort of multi-title and Paramount Plus brand creative to go along with that, so that you're both exciting people about the new shows and movies that are coming, but also showcasing the breadth and depth of the service at the same time. And then the other thing is to hit on your point, which is platform linkage. It's not just enough like you want to get people excited about a show, but they need to know where to find it. And we see in all the research across the industry that linkage to the streaming service is where the awareness metrics lack the most. And it's true across streamers. And I'm sure anecdotally, sometimes you talk to people when they watch the show and they couldn't tell you which service they watch it on. And so that's something we're very focused on in all of our efforts to make sure that we're tying our titles and our broader content offering back to the Paramount Plus brand to help build that linkage. And that's been a sort of a differentiator for us.
That makes sense. They don't have to Google, where do I find this show, and pop up there. Now, do you find this is also an issue for free streaming? Is that the same challenge like with Pluto TV?
It is, but I would say differently with Pluto, where I think we're able to have a healthier balance of like brand and multi-title as well as single title in terms of channels or stunts that we're doing for Pluto, and so I feel like the balance is a little bit there, but absolutely in general, with so much choice out there for streaming, we still want to make sure, from a Pluto perspective, that we're breaking through, because you open up your device and it's like, what am I going to click on? Right. And we want to make sure Pluto is the app that they're choosing.
Makes sense. Interesting. And so another thing I've seen recent research about is that younger consumers are more actively and deliberately kind of subscription cycling and turning in and out. So as you think about marketing and trying to balance subscriber acquisition costs, how are you thinking about kind of non-direct channels like bundling or aggregation, and have those become more important or needed in recent years?
I mean, I think, I would say from a bundling perspective and the way we evaluate those, I wouldn't say that they're specific to sort of the challenge that you're talking about in terms of, people coming into a service and then sort of leaving. And so, what we're really focused on there kind of goes back to what I said before. First and foremost is when we're able to attract a younger audience for a title that they want to watch on Paramount Plus, we also want to make sure that they understand everything else that we offer, so it improves the likelihood that they'll stay with us because we have more than just one thing, right? And so that's been really important for us. But the other thing that we see is when we work really hard to win back subscribers, and with each successive resubscription, people are staying for longer and driving higher lifetime values. And so we also look at it as an opportunity, which is, yes, maybe they had a first short subscription stint with us, but we're hopefully going to get them back and get them to stay longer, and then we get more bites at the apple to turn them into long-term customers.
That makes sense. And on that point of kind of keeping them to stay longer, retention is obviously a big issue.
Huge.
So what are kind of some of your key strategies there in terms of marketing and keeping subscribers on the platform?
Yeah,
the channels you're looking at?
The biggest thing, I think, is engaging with them at every part of the life cycle. Like I often say that our retention marketing starts while you're signing up for the service, right? Just that experience you go through, the show picker that you engage to tell us the types of movies and shows that you want to watch, then our marketing onboarding series in terms of the emails and push notifications you get, how we use those insights to then sort of do paid engagement and retention marketing. And ultimately, we're also trying to really harness all those signals back, and we've been building a sort of a customer data platform to then be able to understand all of the signals you're sending us, both things you like and don't like, and then using them to determine the next best action in terms of how we engage with you. And so that's one way that we're really trying to optimize the customer lifecycle.
Excellent. And I thought it was really interesting during your keynote how you mentioned that kind of first month is a really critical time to keep that user engaged and
Absolutely.
keep them on the platform. Well, thank you so much for being with us.
Awesome.
And thank you everyone for watching. Tune back in. We'll be here all week with live interviews from the show.